What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Profit Desk. I'm Dexter.
And I'm Daniel.
And as always, we appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with us. It is Saturday, January 15th, my mom's birthday. Love you, Mom. Today, we're going to talk about who do you want to be? This comes from a little bit from a book that we're reading right now. What's it? The Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David. And there's a section in there on entrepreneur versus entrepreneur. So we wanted to dig into that a little bit and see if we can't help you get on the right path to deciding who you want to be. Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to have a few guests check in with us tonight. I know for sure we are going to have Brian coming through in a little bit. So that would be nice to have. But before that, yeah. But until then, we'll get into our normal scheduled programming. Let's talk about some news that happened this week.
Let's talk about it.
All right. So first things first, we have the first restaurant NFT. And I don't even know if we can consider it really a restaurant NFT. This is a New York-based restaurant. And they have essentially made it like a country club. If you own the NFT, you can come in, you can eat, you can visit with them. If you don't own it, sorry about your luck. You don't get access. It is a very exclusive restaurant, exclusive club. And they're already just about sold out. So there's that. The price of the NFT to this country club for the low level entry. We're not even talking VIP. We're talking about for those that don't even get all of the fringe benefits. You just get access. It's just over $8,000 for this NFT. Just over $8,000, and that's if you got it on the initial release. Okay. Now, the cost of the VIP NFC, starting at $13,930 up to $1,500, depending on what VIP benefits you would like to have. And there's our brother checking in now. Brian, what's up, brother?
Brian.
So man, talking about this new restaurant NFT that just dropped.
Restaurant NFT, huh?
Yeah. So it's a restaurant NFT, and again, it's just over $8,000 for the base price. If you want to be in VIP, the NFT is $13,000 and change. What is it? $13,930 to start, up to $15,000 depending on what VIP options you select. And they've already sold 1,500 NFTs. That comes out to a whopping, and we always do, the high number. So the high number on that is 22.5 million, assuming, that the majority of those people purchase the VIP. Now, I'm assuming they're going to limit VIP, but they've already started to. They already said that these NFTs are low in supply. So the restaurant opens in 2023, so a full year ahead of time. So you may still have some time to get a membership if you want one.
So you can't eat here if you don't have one?
You can't eat there if you don't have one. Can't even come in and have a drink.
I just lost my business. That's cool.
It's just like most country clubs, I guess. They're not calling it a country club, but that's essentially what it is. You don't get access if you don't have a membership. You get the jacket, you get all the you get the free drinks, you get the rub elbows with all of the important folk, quote unquote, right? But that's what we're looking at. What do you guys think about that?
it's interesting to see if this catches on as some type of fad or the way to go into the future, right? Because those other high end restaurants. Oh, was there an evaluation on what they're currently worth?
Yes. So after the sale of the 1,500 NFTs, there was an evaluation done on the company, and they are so the restaurant itself is being valued as a separate thing, but the Fly Fish Club, the country club that they're introducing, along with the accompanying NFT project, is said to be worth. Let me get it here. $41 billion with a B. B is in Brian. $41 billion.
41 billion.
41 billion. At the last year, one of the gentlemen, last year the highest NFT valuation was 69 million, and that was an artwork by Christie's auction house. It was 69 million. That was the highest valuation of any NFT. This is a major milestone. $41 billion valuation. And this is again, this is according to Chainalysis. They're a company that does blockchain valuations on companies to see what they're worth, kind of like stock exchange.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see because you see this uh, this strategy working with art. Now you see it with something that's a restaurant. You know,
Yeah,
an exclusive, and people like you said like exclusivity. So that's a strategy you can use. You know, that scarcity strategy to connect it to something that people see as already um, valuable, and then
yeah.
you connect it to that. You sell it at a certain price point, and that certain consumer or customer buys it. My thing is, and my thing was, what about the people who are making NFTs, right? They don't necessarily have anything valuable to connect it to.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah. What what do you do then? And
Um,
how do you make the NFT valuable?
so at the moment, NFTs are still um, a great majority of them are misunderstood. Um, Investors aren't the average investor isn't savvy to an NFT, right? For the
Mhm.
most part, even though the owning stock is not something the majority of the United States does. I think it's about just under half of the United States owns stock. Um, Probably a little bit more now, but um, we are fairly certain we understand what a stock is for the most part. With NFTs, it's a little bit different. Not everyone quite understands what it is, and so because of that, you have a lot of speculative investing. There aren't a lot of savvy investors yet that are actually looking at the project, looking at the utility of the project, and then trying to make an informed decision on the investment. Most of the investors at the moment are purchasing an NFT, hoping to get lucky if the value skyrockets.
Mhm.
And that's where we sit. That won't be long. This space is growing rapidly, so that won't be long. So if you're thinking of getting into the NFT space, my recommendation would be to start looking heavily at the utility of projects,
Mhm.
not just what projects look cool. Um, um, now, are there projects that look cool that obviously are going to blow up? Yeah, I mean, look at what Gary V did with punks. So, yeah, there is the potential for that, huh? Is it
and
Brian?
V friends.
And V friends, yeah. So there is the potential for that, but will that be the norm five,
Mhm.
10 years from now? I doubt it. I think it'll be extremely utility based. Um, that's even the way you know crypto projects altcoin projects are headed, right? They're extremely utility based projects like um Shiba Inu, they fall apart because they have zero utility.
Mhm.
They spike, people make a lot of money, and then they crash, and people lose a lot of money. Same thing with Dogecoin. They spike, people make a lot of money, and then they crash, people lose a lot of money. Dogecoin is getting some utility, and that's mostly from Elon Musk because Elon is now allowing you to purchase Tesla with Dogecoin. So it's getting some utility, but they don't have utility of their own. Um, so I think the savvy investor should probably start looking at utility.
Yeah.
What do you think, Brian? What are your thoughts, man?
I'm not a big you know NFT guy, man. I guess call me old school or a slow adopter, early adopter of NFTs. I grabbed a few I wanted. I missed out on the Curry NFT. That was like the last one I really wanted.
Oh man, I missed
Uh,
that one too.
but I think, I mean, even going back to the stock thing that you mentioned, most people think they own stocks because they're on Robinhood, but you don't own those stocks if you're on Robinhood. So I think the number is actually a lot smaller than you mentioned. It's like less than 50%
Mm.
because people don't really know what it means to own anything. Somebody will buy Bitcoin on Robinhood or Cash App, think they own Bitcoin. They don't own Bitcoin.
Right.
So I think people first need to understand what investing is outside of the information they get from TV. You know,
So
like
so
there's a lot of lack of information in areas where people see something on TV and they think they understand the information. Like, and that's why I'm not even on. Like, I'm not really heavy in NFTs. I know you can. Like, I know my next course I want to drop. I want it to be NFT based. I know that. I don't know enough about NFTs yet, but I know that I want to have like 100 positions available to sell, and then from there, you got to buy for somebody else, and I just collect the royalties.
Yeah.
You know what I
so
mean?
I'm I'm
But
I'm gonna go ahead. Finish what you finish your statement.
no, I was done. I was just saying like I would be the wrong person to ask. Like I'm not going to this restaurant. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Like I forget about it.
I'm gonna explain NFTs as concise as I can in 60 seconds or less. All right. Probably won't even take me 15 seconds. Um, if you were to go right now to an art gallery and you see a painting of Picasso on the wall, right? Or you go to buy your chain that you have, um, and you're selecting all the diamonds that go into it. What do they give you when you purchase two of those two things, art or jewelry? What do they give you along with it? Hmm?
A receipt.
They give you a receipt, yeah, but they also give you a certificate of authenticity to show that your diamonds are real. They also give you a certificate of authenticity to show that the artwork is an original work and not a duplicate or a forgery. So they give you a certificate of authenticity, right? An NFT is a digital certificate of authenticity. That is what it's for. So imagine this country club membership. Everyone will get the membership. They'll have a jacket, right? But I can go if I know what the jacket looks like, I can go recreate that jacket, right? And I could probably walk into that country club and pretend like I belong there, right? But um, what will happen is you'll walk into the country club. They'll have you show something on your phone, right? You show it on your phone, and what will happen is the serial number for whatever you show on your phone for that ticket or for that membership piece will be an NFT to show that that membership is an authentic one and one that can't be faked, right? So the people that actually come to that country club, they can actually walk in. So that's what makes V friends and punks those things so valuable because people say, oh, well, why can't I just copy it? You can. I can also print out a picture of Picasso or send it to Big Wall Decor and have them make me a Picasso for my house, I can also do that. But why is the one in my house not worth the same as the one that's in an art gallery? Because the art gallery has the certificate of authenticity, and I don't, even though I have a copy. And that is what an NFT is, and that is why that what Daniel was saying, they're not valuable as they stand alone. They're only valuable if they attach to something that has utility, because the NFT itself is a certificate of authenticity. What are you trying to authenticate? What are you trying to prove? Right? What are you trying to show proof of? And that's why I say people got to, really dig into what the utility is of projects before they decide to invest in NFTs, because it's only valuable if you have a certificate of authenticity of something that somebody wants to actually copy or forge. You get what I'm saying? So that's all it is. It's just a certificate of authenticity.
So this restaurant ain't even made yet. So how I know the food good?
So what now?
This restaurant not even made yet. So how I know the food gonna be good?
Well, the people that are visiting that restaurant don't care how the food tastes.
Yeah.
They care about being in the room with the people that are visiting.
Yeah, not being in that room.
Yeah, it's the food in first class is disgusting, but we always book a ticket.
That is true. That's true. It don't taste no different.
It tastes like airplane food, but
Yeah.
but and for the opportunities that come with first class, you'll book a ticket.
Yeah. Just to mention this, that was about a second more than 30 seconds.
Okay.
About 31.
All right. I'll get it together. I'll be better. I'll be better. Anything else happened this week you guys want to discuss? Anything that came across you that you thought was interesting before we jump into the topic of the evening? Other than Omicron running around jumping on folks like crazy.
Yeah, Marion out there dancing around. That's about it. And people getting in his way, they dancing with him and everything. So, it is what it is.
All right.
I heard Hillary over here deciding to run in 2024.
Stop it.
She's gonna be alive.
Hillary is running against Trump and Biden.
That's what she said.
Well, if things continue like they are, our current president is out of there.
Yeah,
He out of there, bro.
he ain't doing too good right now.
He out of there.
Where's that? Now bringing up our current president, you see the SCOTUS knocked down his mandate for the private sector as far as mask.
Private sector mask mandates and vaccine mandates.
Yeah.
Deemed it unlawful, unconstitutional. So
they started it. So I don't know why they. It's been unlawful since the beginning of time.
well, they upheld it. They upheld it for healthcare workers, though. So if you are a healthcare worker in direct contact with the public, and he mandates it, because I don't know if he has to do it again or what, but if you are a healthcare worker in direct contact with the public, his vaccine mandate will stand for you.
Let me ask you this, and this will end the conversation, because this is all that we really need to talk about when it becomes unlawful or lawful. Did the government create people, or did people create the government?
It's the government of the people. We create the government. It's the government of the people.
That man says listen, okay, well, we created you. I'll ball that down real quick. People forgot that. Like that's the one thing that a majority of people forgot. Is like, if we all remembered that, okay, well, government has to listen to what we say, and we all just say no, we're not doing that. House of Cards falls apart.
That's a fact. That's honestly how the gun community, and I am a 2A advocate myself. That is honestly how the gun community has been able to last so long, because we tend to stand together. Um, and that's one of the things I actually love about the gun community, because and I think it's one of the things that you notice as well, Brian. Like when you started like coming with me and going to places, is that color really isn't a thing in the in the 2A community. Like, yeah, there are some good old boys around, but for the most part, it really is a select brotherhood of people. And if you carry a firearm and carry it legally, they really don't care if you're white, black, yellow, purple, or brown. Just obey the law and don't make it worse for the rest of us. Same thing with the motorcycle community. The Harley. I'll speak specifically for the Harley community. I ride a Harley. And when we go to visit Harley dealerships, Brian, you told me there as well. They really don't care. Like,
Nope.
nobody cares. What kind of bike do you have? Oh, it's great. Can I sit on it? Yeah, sure. Sit on it. Hey, you want to sit on mine? Yeah. And everybody is. It really is. And I think um, if we were not so divided, if we did not allow the government to divide us on so many issues, more of life would be like that.
Mhm.
Um, there would be so much less contention, so much less racism, hatred. There always be prejudices, because we're human, and life experiences help you develop those prejudices. But you can work against. You can Education will help you against prejudice.
Mhm.
You know, but this divisive nature that we have, this divisive culture that we've developed based on our government and political views, is quite frankly disgusting and exhausting. I'm tired of it. And that's my rant for the
Okay, I was about to say, tell us how you really feel.
day. All right. Anything else, gentlemen? I'm assuming that's Q running amok.
I always gotta wait till I do something, hop on the phone, and just want to make all the noise you can.
All right. So tonight's topic: who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? And again, the book that we're reading this month is Your Next Five Moves by Patrick Bet David. And one of the sections in there is entrepreneur versus entrepreneur, and deciding uh, based on your personality and the things you want out of life, the sacrifices you're willing to make, who you really want to be, and who you're most fit to be. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
That
Let's
can
make
be
some rounds here.
that can be a loaded question, right? Uh, because you'll say, "Oh, this is what I want to be," and then the word passion will automatically come up. You
Hmm.
know, and the general thought is, chase your passion and you'll make money. Um, I don't I
Yeah.
don't know how true that is, because a lot of times, a lot of times, your passion isn't marketable,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of times, uh, you choose your passion as a hobby as opposed to something that needs to be done, or a directive, right?
Yeah.
Usually, my what I've seen with people who have become successful in life, they've chosen a path, right? They've gotten really good at a skill set, got
Hmm.
really good at a skill set, got really good at being marketable, bringing value to uh, the world they live in, and then after they've made it, then they pursue their passions. I've seen
Yeah.
the I've seen the opposite happen, as opposed to people who pursue their passions usually are artistic,
Yeah.
creatives, um, That's all I'll say about that.
You know,
I've
to
seen
kind
vice,
of go ahead.
I've seen vice versa. I haven't seen. I'm going to pursue my passion. It's usually along those lines. Nothing against anybody. I'm just saying that's been my view. What about you all?
You know, I've actually I actually know someone. I was talking to him. He has a daughter. Has a long time girlfriend. They live together. And he was saying, "Hey, man," he was talking to me. He was saying, "Man, I really just want to." Mind you, at the time that we're having this conversation, the brother's unemployed. Uh, nothing against the unemployed. I am the unemployed.
Wait a
there,
minute.
there is
There's
a
a caveat
there is a
there.
caveat to that.
All
Yes,
right,
yes.
brother.
Well, I'm running a full time business, but
Yeah.
technically I am not. But so this brother was unemployed. No income coming in. I should specify that. No income source at the moment. Um, and he was telling me, man, I just I really just haven't found a job that I enjoy. Um, and I'm not gonna use the language I used with him, but I am gonna be very frank and say F your enjoyment, brother. You have you have things you need to do. You have things you need to you have bills to pay. You have a daughter to feed. You have a woman sitting on the couch looking at you, expecting you to provide or contribute in some major way. Um, nobody cares what you enjoy. And that's even more so true for men, in my opinion, I think, than women, because the reality is no one is coming to save you. No one. If you are a man in this world, winter is coming. You are out in the cold, brother,
Yeah.
and you have to, you really have to make a decision and decide that you're either going to be great or you're going to be a bum. um, and there really is no in between for men most of the time, because there's no help, no refuge for us. So I say, forget what you're, don't do what you're passionate about. Do what's profitable.
Yeah.
What do you think, Brian?
And like, so from firsthand experience, when I lost my job, and
Your audio's cutting out, brother.
can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Okay, perfect. So from firsthand experience, when I lost, I lost my job, uh, and I was like, I got one check coming in, and I was looking at my credit. Credit was shot, and at the time, credit was not my passion. Like, it just wasn't.
No.
But I needed to learn how to fix it because I saw people that were no smarter than me living just off the credit cards. And I was okay. Well, clearly they know something that I don't know. And so I took my last check. I bought a mentorship with that check and turned what was a problem for me, or a problem area for me, into a solution for me. And then I started to do that for other people. And then it became a passion once I saw how happy it made other people. And so, like, from firsthand experience, everything that you like to do may not be what is going to be profitable. But if
Mhm.
you can find a way to provide a solution for people, that's going to be profitable all day long. And because you're going to make money, you're going by default be happy. I don't know, whoever makes money and gets mad about it, that's something crazy. But you know, it's that's how I stumbled upon credit in itself. And there's like multiple areas, multiple avenues of it, which I had no idea. And it got more exciting for me because I was providing more solutions for more people. So
Yeah.
I agree with don't do what's profitable. first, and then that opens up time for you to be able to do, what you want to do. Like, because of my credit business, I was able to focus in my mentorship in what I'm really passionate about, which is Forex, right? Forex exchange market. So I was able to do a 7-day one-on-one mentorship with a millionaire trader, and he was able to show me where I was missing out on. It's like something simple, sitting there every day, 4 hours to 5 hours a day on the charts with somebody who knows what they're doing. That'll help you correct that learning curve real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. And so definitely agree with, do what's profitable first. If you do have a passion, you want to turn that into a, your full-time thing later. There's no problem there, but you're taking care of business, right? My credit business took care of the bills, helped out. We took a few trips. Definitely wasn't my passion when I started off, but it is a passion now.
Yeah, 100%. And I think for a lot of people, it is a lot of people think entrepreneurship is an escape from the work, and it's quite the opposite. I hear people all the time that says, "I hate my job. I need to start my own business." I'm not sure that is the the correct line of thinking. Or they'll say something like, you know, maybe they hate working long hours. Again, if you hate working long hours, entrepreneurship may not be the path for you. Now, are there businesses in business models that allow you to work a minimal amount of time for large profits? Yeah, there are. There are a ton of them. But those are very niche, opportunities, and they require a lot of education for the most part. Not traditional education, but secondary education. They require a lot of it, and that education costs money. So it is not free. So keep the 9 to 5. Pay for the education if you would like to do so. But I think that most people, which is why we're doing this show today, right? I think most people need to figure out first and foremost if entrepreneurship is even for you before you go invest $3,000 on a course or a coding boot camp or $10,000 on a mentorship before you, or $25,000 on a mastermind before you do any of those things and bleed your account dry and have your creditors angry with you. I think you really should decide whether entrepreneurship is even something you want, or if entrepreneurship, meaning a clear path to financial stability and freedom within the employ of another, is a true path for you. Because I think for most people that is the right path. Entrepreneurship, not entrepreneurship.
Yeah, like right now, I could be 100% entrepreneur, no doubt in my mind. I would easily be rise to the top, no problem. My problem is, you tell me I got 30 minutes to eat lunch, and I feel like watching one of my Netflix shows. I'm watching eating lunch. I'm gonna need longer than 30 minutes, and you're gonna get mad about it. Now we got issues. I don't like that. I'm sorry, I don't like 30 minutes to eat. It's not the yard.
Yeah.
We got more time than that.
Wow.
So,
You equated it to prison. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's, to me, I've never been, so I can't speak on it. But all I know is when I watch any of them shows, they going. They time. Like, they like run out of time and they just like scarfing it down.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, like, I don't know. I feel like eating is something you shouldn't feel rushed. Like, why only 30 minutes?
You feel very passionate about eating, brother. I should. Look, I should be the passionate one about eating, brother, but you feel very strongly about your lunchtime.
I am, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. That's one thing that's always bothered me about the corporate environment. Is that, I mean, I don't even think even when we were at
TQL.
yeah, even when we were there, and they gave us okay, well, just eat what you kill. So as long as you're killing something, take as much time as you need, but
Yep.
make sure you're hitting your numbers. Okay, now that's different. Like I'm okay with that. You know,
Yeah.
I don't do what I'm supposed to do, then I'm not. I just
Yeah.
30-minute thing.
I keep losing you on audio, brother. You might need to switch the settings on your thing and switch your microphone to your earpiece. Um, but I agree with you 100%. The whole I was actually working for a company, and I definitely won't say their name, but I was I was working for a company that told me specifically I needed to let someone know before I use the restroom. Yeah. You see that look on your face? Yes, yes. Make sure you let someone know if you're going to the restroom.
You're on parole?
Yeah, that's right. Um, yeah, that didn't go over too well with me. Um, so I left. I left that day. And I don't think I have ever uh been back at a company that would say that. As Brian stated earlier, we used to work for the same company. We used to work for a brokerage, um, a freight brokerage, and it was eat what you kill. So the only thing that they required, they had two requirements: uh, be there before 7 a.m. Um, and when I say seven, I mean not 7:01. Like you will get canned walking in at 7:01.
Right.
Like I literally got written up. I don't know, probably 3 or 4 times for like coming in like 7:02, and like they were like one more and you're out of here. I'm like 7:02, 2 minutes. But it helped me develop a habit of being on time, and the importance of respecting other people's time. So I'm not knocking them for that. The second thing was that you dressed for the person you wanted to become. So there were no sweatpants, no jeans. You had a collar shirt every day. You wore slacks every day. Um, and they were very, very, very strict about that dress code. It's one of the things that my buddy Brian hated about the place because he is not a. I think he is a suit and tie guy. I think he just doesn't like being required to wear one, but I think he loves a good suit. Um,
I was the reason I was upset. Okay, the reason I was upset was because he knew, and you know who I'm talking about. He knew that I had to run to work 3 miles to run to work every day because my transmission blew out, and he still was upset that I wouldn't want to be sitting there in my nice clothes after I just got done running 3 miles.
hey man, he needs you to have the whole kit in a book bag. Slacks, dress shirt, hard bottom shoes, all in the bag. But Daniel, uh, talk to us about what you think the requirements are if you're going to make a decision like entrepreneur versus entrepreneur. What are some things you think they should consider?
They really have to consider, and we're going back to the book, right? You have to consider uh, what you really want to do. You have to ask yourself some really real questions, right? Being an entrepreneur, first find somebody who's actually in the uh, arena or the area that you want to that you want to grow up in, or you want to be an entrepreneur in, or you want to, experience that type of life in. And then really find out, start asking the right questions, really find out, I see all the glitz and glamour, I see all the Facebook, I see all the Instagram, TikToks, I see all that. But, between you and me, you know, what does it really take? And
Right.
if they're real with you and they start telling you about the pain, really take that into account. Really count up the cost. Are you really do you really want to make those type of sacrifices? Like if they tell you that instead of working your 9 to 5, you have to work from sun up to sundown, because now you are HR, you're accounting, you're marketing, you are you're budgeting, right? You are all those departments in one. You wear all those hats at the same time. Um, can you deal with the pain of things not going through the way you want them and still forge forward because this is your passion, this is what you really want to do? Can you take the pain? Can you stand the rain?
Right. Right.
Right? You really have to be real with yourself, and see if that's what you want to do. And then when you find that out, you say, okay, yeah, you want to forge your path in entrepreneurship. Can you take those outside criticisms? Because once you start moving forward in your path, you're going to have a lot of people to say, and I think we've talked about this before. You're going to have a lot of people to say, oh, you got your little business. How's it going? You're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
get you're gonna get your darts from your family. You're gonna get your darts from your friends. You're gonna get criticisms from people who don't even know you. I.e., you may make a post one day about a certain software won't post MLS sold information anymore, and
Yeah.
you may make a harmless post on Instagram, and somebody from a popular um, group,
Facebook group.
yeah,
Yeah.
a popular group says something, not necessarily commending what you said, but the total opposite. You know, can can you withstand the those can you withstand those type of comments from those keyboard ninjas?
Yeah.
Um, and they're just a reflection of what happens in real life. Um, it's just you have to ask yourself some real questions. I want to make $1 million. Okay, how much money did you make last year? I only made 30. Okay, you gotta.
Why you said okay? Why you say
There's a little gap there. Who do you have to become in order to do the tactics
Yeah.
to make the million? Right? The tactics aren't the problem. They're easy. The hows are the easy. Becoming the person that will be disciplined enough to do those tactics day in, day out, the mundane things that compound over time. Can you work 80 hours a day as opposed to 40? 80 hours a week, I'm sorry, 80 hours a week as opposed to 40. Sometimes 90 hours a week as opposed to 40. Can
Most of the
you
time.
look, yeah, can you look 5 steps ahead and say, okay, in the beginning, I have to put in a lot of sweat equity, a lot of my own money, or however you want to fund the endeavor, right?
Hmm.
Until you get midway and you're kind of half and half. You're spending a lot of time. You're not spending as much time, but the business is starting to turn over for you and produce a profit. And then on the other end, you're not expelling as much energy, but the business is really taking care of your everyday expenses and even more. Can you do you have that durability, that intestinal fortitude? Do you have what it takes to make it those 5 years just to see the payback for what you put in the beginning? You have to ask yourself those type of questions.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I think we talked about that one morning too during our book discussion. We talked about not only that, but even in relationships. I brought the fact that I have um, I know a young lady I was discussing this topic with, and she was saying she wants to marry a man that makes $500,000 a year, $500,000 a year. And I was asking her, I was like, do you really want a man that makes $500,000 a year? She's like, what do you mean? I was like, do you know how much that man works? How that he's going to miss kids' games, that he's not going to date night will not be a normal thing. There are that he works, about 10 to if the average man makes $50,000 a year in the United States, 52,000 to be exact. So the average American income for men in the United States, $52,000 a year. If that is the average American income, and you want a man that makes $500,000 a year, and then you want a man that works 10 times as hard as that man, or 10 times as much, right? So, do you really want that, or does the number just appeal to you? And I think that's a lot of people have to ask that question. Do you really want this? Do you really want that life? Um, are you willing to, and as Daniel said, are you willing to become the person you have to become in order to earn $500,000? Are you willing to become obsessed with learning, with being better than you were yesterday? Are you willing to increase the criticism upon yourself in order to become a better person tomorrow? Are you willing to take what's wrong, analyze it, and actually do what it takes to get better? And the reality is I don't think most people want the life that comes with the money they want to have.
Mhm.
The sacrifices that have to be made to achieve what you want to want to have. And if you're in a serious relationship, Daniel, you would know more about this than any of us. If you're in a serious relationship, what are do you have a partner that's willing to sacrifice in order for you to achieve it?
Yeah.
That's huge for my married brothers and sisters out there. That's a big deal, having a partner by your side that understands not only what you want to accomplish, but is willing to sacrifice with you. Um, if you got kids, knowing that they may not always understand the sacrifice.
Right.
Um, so it is. I don't know anything about that balance. Daniel will be able to tell you more about how you balance that. But I know as a kid who never saw my dad growing up, even though I lived in the same house, I saw my dad one weekend out of the month because he was a long distance truck driver to put food on the table. That was a sacrifice that he made to provide for his family, right? And so there's people say, oh, you grew up in a two-parent household. Not exactly. Two income household, yeah, but two-parent household is not really how I would describe it. But again, that was a sacrifice that my dad made to make sure that um, his family was provided for. And although I didn't understand it as a kid, I understand it now. And you really have to count up the cost and decide who you want to be and whether the person that you have to become is worth it. Um,
Yeah, I
all the
think.
go ahead, Dane.
Yeah, I think the one of the questions you have to ask yourself, because there's a difference between passion and purpose, right? Like
Hmm.
passion is what you really want to do, what you say this is what I really enjoy to do, and your purpose is how you want to be remembered, how people remember you, right? So how do you want to be remembered? And then that's where you start, and then you start backing it off from there. How do I want to be remembered? Okay, so how do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be known as someone who followed their passion, but you didn't help anybody,
Hmm.
right? Are you one of those people? Like for me, um, I want to be remembered in the business world as decisive, open to new ideas. I challenged everybody around me to be better. You know, um, I made you feel like you were part of something important, and your role for us getting to our goal was very important. I made you feel like you mattered, right? Uh, if you were in my presence and you didn't feel better after you left, I've done something wrong. I want somebody to remember it that way. You know, how do I want to make an impact on other people? Really start asking those questions, right? Because your passion sometimes can be self-serving. But if your purpose is how can I help other people, you know, you'll be remembered far beyond your years after you're gone. And if you've answered those questions and you realize that you can't take the pain of being an entrepreneur, then entrepreneurship is the way to go.
Absolutely. Any thoughts on that, Brian?
Can you hear me now? I just switched it
Yeah.
to my Mac
Yep.
audio, so maybe that's easier.
I hear you. Go ahead, brother.
All right, perfect. Um, I think I would also ask or look inward and ask myself, what's the longest goal that I've had in the past that I've achieved?
Mhm.
And did I give up on it or did I not give up on it? Right.
Yeah,
And so,
That's a good one.
for me, my history is kind of set up of having delayed gratification anyway.
yeah,
Right. I was a cross country and track runner. You have to train pretty much all year round to improve, even to drop 5, 10 seconds in a race a year from now. Right. So I was always used to doing that. Same with video games. Right. Video games, you got to play them over and over and over again until you beat the level, you figure out the game, beat the game. So it's a constant set of delayed, gratification. And if you've grown up and you haven't had to go through any delayed gratification circumstances,
yeah.
and you're trying to get into the entrepreneurship life, and you don't know how to handle doing something for 10 hours one day, 40 hours one week, 80 hours one week, and you don't see the results you're looking for, the entrepreneurship may not be for you. You know, I mean, I didn't see results the way I wanted to see results until almost a year into my business. I really started to pick up speed month 9 of being in business. And
Yeah.
for some people, that's too long. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with finding out that that line is not for you. There's nothing wrong with it. But the question is, you have to ask yourself is, would you be okay if you did everything you could for 9 months and you didn't get the results you wanted? Or would you still keep going? I think that's the question you kind of got to be able to ask yourself. And that was my situation. I was able to keep going, you know. And right after that, it's kind of like that story of stopping 3 feet short from goal from Think and Grow Rich,
Mhm.
right? Had I stopped, month 9, month 8, I would have missed out on month 10, 11, and 12, which were my best 3 months
Right.
of my first year of business. So I definitely agree. You got to ask yourself some hard questions. But, for people who don't read as much as we do, for people who don't really know how to have those kind of inward reflections, that's why I say, what have you done so far in your life? What was the longest delayed gratification that you've had to pursue? Right. And if you can remember how that felt to keep going, and then you feel like you can do that again for what you're passionate about now, you might be able to make it. But if you look back and you couldn't handle it then, that might be your answer.
I also think to your point about reading, reading is such an underrated discipline. Um, because it's not. People think, oh, what are you reading? I don't care what you read. Read something every day. Not for and I'm gonna kind of wax poetic on Jim Rohn here. Not for the knowledge that you will gain from what you read, but for the person that you will become, for the discipline that it takes to read something every day.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is not. It seems like, oh, I'll make sure I read 10 chapters of a book. 10 pages, 10 chapters. Jesus Christ, 10 pages of a book every day. That seems easy. Let me tell you something about this book here. 10 pages of this book
Yeah, it's kind of wordy.
Oh my! Look at this. Look. 10 pages of this.
Yeah,
Woo!
it's kind of
um, but if you make the commitment, um, the person, hey, they see what I'm talking about. The never collect. I gotta get that too. That's good. But if you,
right now.
but if you, the person that you will become by developing the discipline to do something consistently every single day, no matter what happens, the 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 bond you develop when you find people to hold you accountable, like there's a saying, blood is thicker than water. Everybody says it. You guys know that that's wrong, that's not what the actual saying is. So the actual full saying is, uh the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water in the womb.
mm-hmm.
uh Meaning that the bond you build with your brothers will always be stronger than the bond from birth with family. um and I believe that to an extent, right? I believe that to be true. The bonds that we develop on this path, because you are alone as an entrepreneur. And that's why being an entrepreneur is so much better. You have a much better support system
Right.
overall being an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you're alone, and until that parachute opens, as Steve Harvey says, when you jump, until that parachute opens, you're very much alone. Um, and finding some like-minded people that you can latch on to, some people that will hold you accountable. There is an intense, strong bond that is built there. But anyway, I said to say, find something that you can do consistently every day. Reading is, something that everybody can do. Everybody has access to a book, and if you don't have access to one, there are free digital copies online. Go on Amazon, Kindle, whatever, and you can get access to a book. You can even listen to an audio book if you have an Audible account. So there's no excuse for you not to be able to do this. And sorry, Friday night jam session, but there's no excuse for you not to be able to do this, other than being undisciplined.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, yeah, I think it's such an underrated habit, to build. Build a habit of reading something every day. It will change your life, 100%.
Yeah, to your point, man, how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? Because
Yeah,
once you develop a discipline in certain areas, in a certain area, you'll start developing the discipline in different areas of your life. Like we started reading a book. Like I asked you to join me, what was it, 6 months ago?
yeah,
6 or 7 months
yeah.
ago. So we've been reading a book a month for about 7 months. Sometimes two books because
Sometimes two books. Yeah,
yes, because we've been getting through the book so fast. Um, but the crazy thing is, out of that, you have been, and I hope you don't mind me telling the people this.
no,
Out of that, you have since developed the discipline of getting up early in the morning. You started early in the morning at 5 o'clock. People, 5 o'clock in the morning. Dexter was getting up and working out, right?
yeah,
For a while. And then he found out, I'm not such a morning person. Let me do this at night. He pivoted and it works better for him. Guess what? Guess how I know he does it every day? He checks in.
every
He
single
sends
day.
he sends a text from his Apple Watch telling me, and I think does he send it to you, Brian?
Yeah, sends it to me too.
Yeah, so he sends it to us, telling us what he's done for that day, right? We see move, we see reps, we see everything. I know when he's done cardio just by reading the readout, and I know when
Mm.
he's done more more strength training. And I'll make a comment, like I might send an arm emoji, a muscle arm emoji, like, "Hey man, I see you." Just and you need that type of accountability uh, to continue your disciplines. So how you do one thing is how you do everything. He started with the reading. Now it's now it's reading and his health. It's going to be reading, health, and then finances. And then it's just a accumulating, you know, discipline areas
Mhm.
all over your life. You start, and then all of a sudden, that discipline turns you into the person that makes millions,
Yeah.
right? That
Hmm.
person you're developing into the person that you want to be. That very auspicious goal that you said. I don't know if we mentioned it on here, but it has a lot of zeros.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It
sir.
has a
And
lot of
we'll do an episode about that too. We need to do an
yeah,
episode
we
about
have a lot
goals.
of.
Yeah.
I know we're over, but it has a lot of zeros in it. And I believe we're going to get there because
Oh,
I have
100%.
somewhat the same number.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Matter of fact, we have to get there in order to hedge yourselves against this old ridiculous inflation that's happening over
Oh, yeah.
the next years, right? You
Yeah.
have to have a plan in place. You can't just be a W-2. You can't just have one stream, right? You have to have several rivers, not just streams. You have to have rivers in this
Yeah.
type of economy. So being able to have those disciplines, uh, have those little habits, just getting up 15 minutes earlier to do 5 sit-ups.
Yeah.
You just start there.
It's not the 5 sit-ups. People are like, oh, what's 5 sit-ups gonna do? It's not the 5 sit-ups.
It's
It is
developing
the
discipline.
discipline. It
Right.
is the person you have to become in order to do those 5 sit-ups every day. As Brian said, you need to build a track record of delayed gratification. It is has nothing to do with the sit-ups. And I think the more people we live in a society where um outcome is derived directly from action in people's minds,
Mm.
and I think that's the wrong way to look at it. It is people hand you an investment of five. Let's just say somebody give you $5,000. What do they want to know? They want to know how much I'm going to get back and when, right? That is what people see in the finance world. They right, but when you invest in yourself, it is a different return system. What you the seed you sow in yourself, um, the seed that's being planted is not the one you think. So if you set a goal, hey, I'm going to do 10 push-ups a day, you think you're sowing the seed of fitness. When in reality, you're sowing the seed of discipline,
Hmm.
because people people that are fit aren't fit because they exercise. People that are fit because they have a lifestyle of discipline,
Hmm.
right? They don't overeat. They make sure they exercise every day. They have a very specific lifestyle of discipline. They may be undisciplined in other areas, but in this specific area of their life, they have a lifestyle of discipline. People that are financially successful, they have a very specific lifestyle of discipline. They work tirelessly. There are no excuses when, if, for instance, um, at this moment, I don't have a 9 to 5. I don't work. But however, Daniel can tell you that I do not take days off.
Hmm.
There is no such thing.
Right.
I'll be on vacation, and Daniel will like, hey, aren't you supposed to be
Yeah, but hold on. Let's talk about that because Brian was there.
yeah.
He went down there, of course, to celebrate Brian's birthday. Now he was supposed to be on vacation. In my mind, when I go on vacation, don't talk to me or communicate to me about work. I'm not going to answer you. This man, this is how communicated. I mean, I'm sorry. This is how committed he is to the discipline I of reading every day. He got on. I didn't know he was in Miami. He got on the call every morning after he was out till 3 o'clock the prior morning. That same morning, 8 o'clock, he was on the call. I said, "Hey man, no man, I said, I'm looking at him because I've been looking at him for like 6 months. So I know when he's tired and I know when he's had some rest. So I'm looking at him like, "Man, you all right?" He said, "Yeah, man, we just got in about 3 o'clock." I said, "Where you at?" "In Miami." I said, "For what?" He said, "Oh yeah, I went down with Brian. It's his birthday." "It is his birthday." "Why are you here?" Right? So just little things like that. Having 5 moves ahead, right? Thinking 5 moves ahead. Can I, and he could have said, for me, it would have been a challenge for myself. Okay, can I still do this in a different environment?
Yeah.
Right? It's not my normal environment of doing this specific activity. I'm going somewhere else where my attention will be drawn somewhere else. I'm helping my brother celebrate his birthday. We doing it big, right? But each morning, I still have to make this commitment. I've made this commitment to myself to become something that will draw what I want in the future. Amazing. That was amazing to me.
I appreciate it,
Amazing to
man.
me too, because I was there, and he's like, "Hey man, I'll be right back. I got to hop on this call." I said,
Mhm.
'cause I was still tired. And this man still hopped on his call. I said, "Hey, that's my boy right there,
Yeah.
getting after it."
Yeah, man.
That's somebody you can trust, bro.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But we're up against it. We're a little bit over our normal time. This is actually a pretty good broadcast today, gentlemen. Any last words? Anything you guys want to touch on before we shut it down for the night?
No, I'm good.
Anything, Brian?
Vacation.
Say it
I
again.
said delayed gratification is what I want to leave people with. I think people should explore it more. And I get it's hard because we have things like the microwave, we have things like the power button on the TV, we have things like a text message that we can send, which is instant. See, it was
Yeah.
delivered. But if everything, let's say everything was, to go haywire, which sometimes I feel like is going to. If we are supposed to do things on our own, everything is delayed gratification. The farmer doesn't plant a seed today and expect it to grow tomorrow,
Mm.
right? The farmer's planting that for delayed gratification for months in the future. And so I think as soon as I understood not to expect things immediately, as soon as I understood take it one day at a time, do the best you can in that day, and let the
Mhm.
results come as they come, that's when everything changed for me. And so I really want people to explore delayed gratification more. I think people should study farmers. I think if we were to give if there was a book, a course on farming and how long it takes for certain seeds to grow, certain crops to grow, I think that would put into perspective why, or for some people, why, let's say, losing a certain amount of weight doesn't happen overnight, it doesn't happen in 2 weeks, or how if you want to make a certain amount of money, it doesn't happen overnight, or within 2 weeks, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So delayed gratification, focus on that, do the best you can every single day, build the right habits, and you will become whoever you want to become.
Hey Dex, I do want to say something. Um, you have to start somewhere, right? In
Mm-hmm.
order to build those habits, start small. Start with the waking up 5 minutes earlier than you usually do, right? and then it's 10 minutes, and then 15 minutes. And then when you get to 15 minutes, start doing those 5 sit-ups. But at the 5 minutes, you know, get write 5 things that you're thankful for. Get up 5 minutes earlier, and then start your day with writing down 5 things that you're thankful for. And do that until you become used to it, until you're consistent with it for at least 2 or 3 months, for at least a month, right? Get up every day, 5 minutes earlier than you usually do, and write down 5 things you're thankful for. It's not about writing down what you're thankful for. Again, it's about the discipline. The result of it is you put your subconscious or your mind in a better place to start the day, right? So you're knocking out 2 areas. You're starting with the right mindset, and you're building a discipline as well. So, and then build up that discipline, and then just add on the reading, add on the sit-ups, add on the accountability partner, build from there. But start with that 5 minutes and write down something that you're thankful for, 5 things, and you'll see how your life changes.
Absolutely. And we're going to have a discussion on that book, Atomic Habits, too, because you basically just walked us through the book just now. So we're definitely going to have a discussion on that book, Atomic Habits. Yes, sir. That's a good one. I think that'll be good to piggyback off what Daniel said. So yeah, definitely start with something, and look at it this way. Like he said, you get to 15 minutes. Don't think of the 15 minutes, getting up 15 minutes early as, again, what is 15 minutes going to do for me? But think of it as this. You're adding an extra hour and a half to your week by getting up 15 minutes early every day. You got an extra hour and a half on your competition for whatever that may be. And that doesn't mean that you're getting up 15 minutes early and you're jumping into your business. Like Daniel said, it may be meditation. It may just be taking 15 minutes to actually plan your day so that you're not going through your day aimlessly. But those 15 minutes will make a huge impact on your day, not because of the amount of time, but because of the person it will make you, the person that you will have to become in order to remain disciplined, in order to not hit the snooze button on your phone. And iPhone has made it so easy because you don't even have to look at your phone. You just touch any button on it. It's like, okay, snooze. So yeah, find a discipline, find something simple. It does not matter what it is, but find something that you have to do every day, and do it because of the person that you will become, not because of what you'll get from it. And that'll start you on the path to the delayed gratification. Doing something because of who you'll become in the future and not what you'll receive from something. Right. Daniel, one of the things you said to me, and I'll wrap it up. One of the things you said to me when we were going over our year is that in business, everything is 2 quarters delayed. So you don't see anything you did in the first quarter until the third quarter.
Right.
If you see it then. You're not seeing anything with the first
definition of my first season. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you don't do anything you did in the first quarter, you'll see in the third quarter. And we find that to be true in our business. And I find it to be true in life as well. The disciplines that we started 6-7 months ago are now bleeding into other areas of my life as we're falling into the third quarter of it. So just keep that in mind. Decide who you want to be. Do the research, find out what that looks like, find a model of that, someone that you can model after, and ask them, What did it take? What does it take to be you? What does it take to become you? What does it take to achieve what you have achieved? That guy on YouTube that's always stopping people and asking them, "Hey, what kind of car you?" When it's like fancy cars, he's like, "What do you do for a living?" They tell you what they do for a living. That's a start to finding a mentor. That is the first question. Somebody says, "Oh, I'm an investment banker." Well, how the hell do I do that? And
Yeah.
let them tell you. Let them tell you, and you will know in that moment. You will know in that moment. Yeah, I don't really want to do that. All right. but find somebody to model it after, and yeah, decide who you want to be. Anything else, gentlemen? All right. Well, go ahead, Brian.
I was saying, I don't want to keep us on any long. I know we're a bit over. So
Yep.
go. I think we all kind of said our piece on changing how technology is making us more of an instant gratification culture. And we're trying to get back to the delayed gratification culture. It makes your life less stressful too. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, if I don't expect results tomorrow, I'm just going to keep working hard tomorrow. I guess.
Yeah.
Work hard. Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been another live stream of the Profit Desk. We thank everybody that tunes in, everybody that comes by to support. If you're watching this, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the things we discussed tonight. And as always, we appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with us. Peace.
Peace.